Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This video is about my iPad Pro review and why it's become one of my favorite personal computers that I've ever used. So, a little backstory is my very first laptop I ever had was I think it was the 12-inch MacBook Air, and I loved that thing. But it was very slow, very glitchy, and it, compared to what I'm using right now, the iPad feels so much better in so many different ways. So let's have a look at it. So the look of the iPad Pro, I think it's very sexy. I love the Magic Keyboard, it's super nice. It has this really nice chassis design, solid metal. I got this bag and it fits in very nicely with it. And it's super nice to just travel around with because of how light it is and how thin. And trust me, it does make a difference. I know people have been hating on it, but for me, it removes that excess weight by not having that extra camera. And for reading and stuff like that with one hand, I thoroughly enjoy the 11-inch side compared to the 13-inch. And I've kind of fallen back in love with this Magic Keyboard recently because you can use all the MacBook shortcuts and the trackpad features and stuff like that. And it's just much more focused, and I feel like when I use the iPad to study something, so at the moment I'm using Duolingo a lot to learn Polish, it's just much more enjoyable and I can stay focused on one thing because of how the UI is built. I know it's like a very closed database, like you can't really code on it. As like a personal computer, when I'm just trying to relax right now over the summer holidays, the iPad is the best portable computer for me. And I think as a student as well, it's been the best thing for me because of that touch. And you can use the Apple Pencil with it and annotate over lecture slides. And for me, my whole degree, I used Anki to study with, and the Anki application on the iPad is my favorite application because it's just super focused and it's just one screen and it's just super simple. And I just love how it simplified Anki for me. And it helps me review it a lot more. And one of my favorite new things about this iPad in particular is this Apple Pencil Pro that comes with it. As you can see there. My favorite thing about it is you can switch it in settings, that when you write on it, you can squeeze it and then it goes to the hot thing, and it's so much better than the double tap. I really like the Magic Keyboard because then it actually feels like a laptop replacement, but you don't have to get it. The main benefit for me was it just feels a lot more premium with this back part. But saying all of this, it still doesn't replace my MacBook Pro for many reasons, because of video editing for this YouTube channel is much better on the MacBook because you can buy a thing called the Student Bundle where you get Logic Pro and all the Pro creative apps for the MacBook, which I highly recommend if you're a student, and you don't have to pay a recurring subscription fee like with the iPad, and it's much quicker. Another main reason is because this year I did my dissertation on reinforcement learning, which I needed to use Visual Studio Code a lot. So I needed a code for my degree, which I could only do on my MacBook. And also I had to write a long time on Word, which is 10 times better on the MacBook because it's just built for the MacBook, right? And you can actually integrate with something called Zotero, which is a reference storer. And if you're gonna write a dissertation, you need a MacBook, right? But saying all of that, even though the MacBook is better for maximum productivity, the iPad still feels much more fun. And for relaxation, for enjoying yourself, for doing creative hobbies, like with the iPad, I use the Tabs app a lot to learn how to play guitar. I use it a lot to practice Polish, to do lots of hobbies and just doodle and learn and study things. And for me, that's been much more invaluable than just a MacBook. So in the dream world, having both is the best thing. If I could only have one, obviously I would use just a MacBook because I couldn't have done my degree without it. Literally couldn't have finished my dissertation without a laptop. But for fun and enjoyment, iPad all the way. What do you say, Rocky?
Hey, boy.